All right, welcome to the Healing Migraines Naturally podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Leslie Caesar, and I'm a licensed naturopathic doctor, former chronic migraine sufferer, and I've dedicated my life to helping other women with chronic migraines rediscover a migraine-free life. And I want to welcome Monica to the podcast today. Welcome, Monica. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Thanks so much for joining us today. You're going to talk about your healing story from your chronic migraines. I'm so happy that you're going to share your story with us today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy to share my journey to
Yeah, so
feeling better.
yeah, tell us tell us how the migraine started for you.
So I think like I did have few migraines like here and there when I was younger, like my teenage years, I would say. But like I noticed them like a lot, like I felt them a lot after I had my daughter. I was like 4 months, about 4 months after I had her, where I had like really, really like first migraine that I still remember to this day. Like my husband came home from work and like I was in bed, and that day I remember she was actually very good baby. Like she was not crying. She slept with me all day. Like it really started then. And back then I didn't know there were migraines. Like I just felt sick and I was throwing up, and very often like she was little, so like I still had to take care of her. And like I remember like literally crawling like to change her and just to take care of her. I think that's how it started. And I remember going to my regular doctor mostly for vomiting, really, because like yeah, headache, but like I was just sick. And it took few months and like few visits that she finally like kind of she asked me if I'm having migraines, and I was like, I don't know. And then she actually gave me some contact information for neurologists that I work with. And like I really work with multiple neurologists. Part of it was the insurance, because our insurance changed, so obviously like I had to change the doctors. And like the doctor I started with was really good. Like he was actually making me journal. He focused on diet and so on. Not as much like as like with you, but like it was like I think he was the best neurologist I ever worked with. And unfortunately our insurance changed and he was long ago taking it. And after that, like it was like really hit or miss with the doctors, multiple medications, different medications, and it worked for some time and then it wasn't. So
And you struggled with this for a long time because Hannah was born,
yeah, she's
was
18.
it '08?
She is 18. She will be turning 18 in 1 month. So yeah, it's been
Don't
at
remind me.
least 18 years.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
long time.
Mm-hmm.
And your the migraine symptoms that you're prone to really fit what in the old medical literature they would call migraine sick headaches. That's what they were called, because people would be so sick, they'd be vomiting and they'd have all of the additional symptoms that you get with the classic migraine. You kind of feel like you have the flu. You're knocked out. You're nauseous,
Yeah.
you're vomiting, you're groggy, in addition to all of that head pain. So your migraine symptoms had so much vomiting, nausea and vomiting
Yeah.
as a
Yeah, I think
symptom.
this was the worst for me because I can go through pain. Like I'm a pastry chef now, but I always been working in a restaurant environment, so I had to be at work, and every call out was putting our team on. It wasn't easy for everybody. Like I felt bad calling out, knowing we were busy at work and whatever, but like I could work through the head pain. But when I like I had episodes often, very often, that there would be 2 days in a row just awful headache and vomiting. And that was like I felt so weak and sick, and I just couldn't move, and it was just like I was wailing from pain. Like I remember my husband would be like just checking on me if I'm still okay, like or what he can do. He would just replace ice bags and just making sure like I'm drinking, but I couldn't drink anything because, I would be vomiting. So I think this was the worst for me. Like not the head pain. Yeah, head pain, yes, but like the other symptoms that was like I could not move, you know.
Yeah.
And
And
it's funny, I'm sorry, like my kids, like they grew up really with me and my migraines. And from very little, like they would be like quiet. They would make sure everybody's quiet in the house. They would check on me, like if I need anything.
yeah, I hear this a lot. By the time the child's 5, they know, okay, go to the, go to the freezer, get mommy her ice pack.
Yeah.
And it just kills moms to have their
Yeah,
little
I mean,
children.
yeah. And very often, like how many like things that we planned for, we didn't do, or like they did it without me because I felt bad. Like I think that one really, really bad episode we had, like it was around Christmas, and it was like migraine, and I had also like exhausted from like being very busy at work, and I couldn't come down for opening Christmas presents in the morning, and they waited for me until I think 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I told my husband just to go ahead, open present, and wait for me because sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was difficult, like not just for me, but for them too.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the untold story of migraine.
Mm,
You know, we're alone in the dark room. We can't function, but our family's suffering too. They're
yeah.
missing us too. And what I think is also very notable for you is your profession. I used to work in a corporate office, and if I had a migraine, maybe I would kind of hang out in my cubicle, or, I could kind of slip into a conference room and maybe, kind of escape. But you don't have a job like that.
No, I mean, and work in the kitchen, you work in a hot kitchen. That's not helping, and with bright lights. And I had few, um, you know, I remember one wedding. I was, it was really something that I had to be there to finish just because of my skills. Not everybody on my team had those skills at that time. So I suffered through a few hours to complete that wedding cake. And then as soon as I was done, I just like, I'm going home. And like, I was pushing through. But by the time I was finished with everything, like all the, like, I guess the stress fell down, like everything was like coming down. And my husband actually had to come and pick me up from work because I wasn't able to drive. But yeah, I had to push through.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a profession. There's no hiding out.
No.
And, I think you're being very modest from what you've told me about your skill level. I mean, you're a very, very skilled pastry chef, and so people are counting on you for some of the most important days of their life
Mhm.
to have that special touch on whether it's their wedding cake or whatever other pastries and so on that they have. They're counting on you, and the wedding is not going to be rescheduled because you have a migraine.
Exactly. I mean, and it's for the most part is the most important day in many people's lives. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, clearly you were really suffering when we met. You were, because the nausea was so significant, such a significant part of your symptoms. You were taking anti-nausea medication. You had to take so much medication that, how did you feel with all of that medication on board?
Awful. Like I hated it. Like I felt like I'm not necessarily addicted because it was an addiction, but I could not have that medication. It caused me so much anxiety if I was running out. And there was time. Sometime I would actually run out because my refill wasn't. I wasn't eligible for refill yet because they give you the window. So yeah, I had sometimes like I just couldn't, and I was like getting in contact with neurologists to get like maybe like fill in prescription, it was also like, give them 48 hours. Like, oh my God, like I can't give you 48 hours.
Yeah.
So it was causing a lot of stress, like just to making sure like I have my medication. I always had my medication with me. I had medication at work, I had medication at home, I had medication with me like in my bag, just so um, just in case,
Mm-hmm.
God forbid I went somewhere like home, like my family lives in Europe, so like going there like without medication wasn't an option at all.
Right. Yeah.
And like I went there, and it's a long flight. It's 9 hour flight plus traveling to the airport from the airport and connecting flights. So it's a long day, and usually it would cause migraine on the airplane, or like as I get off the airplane. So,
Yeah.
and I also missed a lot of things. Like even going there, we had some plans made, which I missed because I was in bed with migraine.
Yeah. And then with that, you're sort of in a double bind too. You want to go home, you want to visit your family back home, but then you're going to go through the agony to get there. It's a big expense to travel, and if you can't even participate with your family once you're there, it's a real dilemma that a lot of
Yeah,
people face with travel.
yeah, yeah. I mean, my parents, they know too, so they were always prepared for this stuff too. Like my mom had ice bags. She made sure she has ice. She made sure she has some. My mom is more, and like when I was growing up, my family, like we didn't really go for medications. We did, but the first approach was natural medicine at home. Like I was sick, my mom would make me milk with honey and garlic. That was so. My mom was always trying to do some, natural remedies. And I remember at some point, like she actually scheduled an appointment with, oh my gosh, I don't even remember I don't know what you would call that person now. I don't remember, but like she was like healing with her energy, and like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
some people would call it witchcraft. I don't know. But like my
Sounds
mom
like Reiki.
to just anything really.
Yeah. So, what was the turning point for you? You had been managing this for so long. What was the turning point for you?
I think the fact that like my neurologist, like I would go every 6 months, and it was always 10-minute visit, and it was just like what kind of medications I need. I could tell her like I need this and this, and I would get prescription without even getting deeper in why whatever I'm taking is not working. Or like I was offered last few times I was offered Botox, and I knew I don't want to do it just because I heard, like, I remember once, like, one of the neurologists I was saying, like, he was always, like, very behind with patients, and, like, it was a lot of people in the waiting room. And I overheard one girl that was suffering from migraines, and she was talking about Botox and her experience. And I was like, I don't want that. Like, she was saying, like, first it was helping her, but then, like, if you close it to the time when it's time for new injection, like she would suffer so badly when it like, and I was like, I don't think I want to do that. Like I don't want to, like, I taken enough medication as it is. I mean I was, and I didn't want to add anything else. And it felt like I was on medication. I was on Nurtec. I still take it occasionally. I didn't see my neurologist in a year, really, because I missed one appointment and they couldn't reschedule anything until September. But I'm not stressing about it. Like before, I would just look for another neurologist just to see almost immediately. At this point, like I'm fine. I'm going to see them just because I've been seeing them, but yeah, I think it was just I felt like nothing was working. And even me taking, like, I would take Nurtec for my migraine, and Zofran, and also Furacid, because the other ones didn't really help, but I couldn't take nothing else but Nurtec because I had nausea, and these are dissolving pills, which still sometimes would make me vomit. But yeah, I just couldn't.
So it
And I
sounds
don't
like you,
remember really how I came across you. I think I was like getting into like listening to podcasts at work, and I was looking for some fun subjects. I always listen to crime stuff and things like that. But I was like, let me see if there's something about migraines. And I came across your podcast, and I listened to all of the first episodes that were like available. I think I don't know how many it was, but I listened to all of them, and I finally reached out for that consultation.
yeah, so it sounds like you just reached the tipping point of, I don't want to take, I know they're going to recommend Botox next. I know I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's digging into anything. It's a 10-minute appointment where I'm telling the doctor
Yeah.
what I want. So, sort of like you
Mhm.
realized you had sort of reached the end of the road with that
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah.
So you reached out, and what was it like reaching out? Were you a little bit nervous, or what? Tell me more.
Yeah, I really don't know what I was expecting. I guess at this point I was like, what it's gonna cost me? Like, what's the harm in this? Like, just to see, as I mentioned, like growing up with like my mom really looking more into natural things of getting better. I was like, how long I can take those pills? Like, how long I can be on medication? Like, I didn't want to be on the medication for the rest of my life, and it wasn't the cost because my insurance it covers all of the cost, but sorry, but oh my gosh, I'm sorry. um but it's just being like, I don't know, just having to have to take it all the time. I It wasn't for me really.
And yeah, you were the frequency of your migraines. I mean, you were having multiple days a week, if I'm
Yeah,
remembering
so
correctly.
I
It
had
was
headaches almost every day. Like, I was ready to wake up with migraine every single morning. And very often I would be late to work because, like, when I wake up with migraine, I need to take my medication. I need to let it at least kick in a little bit so I can start moving. Um, so I always had like my headache head. Like, I have an actual head that has some compression, and I would sleep in it, or I would have it next to me so I can put it on. I always had diffuser next to my bed with some essential oils. Always had Tiger Balm next to my bed. Always had the medication, as I described like earlier, the nausea medication, the migraine medication, always next to my bed. And yeah, like I would wake up my husband like in the middle of the night, like when I woke up with like I can feel migraine coming in, or like I would wake up with migraine, like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and like I knew already I cannot move, and he would go and get me medication, get me ice and everything. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but I did have headaches almost every day. And then like those like bad migraines with nausea and vomiting. I don't know. Sometimes they were every week, sometimes every other week, but they were lasting for a few days. So, and very often they happened after like really stressful time at work, or like after travel, any stressful time really, like there's something different going on. Like, I would push, 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 and then when the deadline was over, my body would just crash.
yeah, yeah,
Which not, I mean, my work didn't change, but I don't have those anymore. Like,
yeah.
I would have headaches here and there, and very often I would just take Advil and I would be fine. Yeah, I will take from time to time. I would take Nurtec, which I still have, but the pain goes away within an hour or two. So
So yeah, so from daily head pain, waking up with some level of head pain, kind of expecting it every day, migraines flaring on top of that, multiple medications, multiple days, running out of your medication before you could refill it. What's your life like now?
well, I think my last like really bad migraine, and that was the worst from I think when we start working together. Maybe like from like I don't know, when did we start working together? I think it was December. So I would say like starting maybe January when we went back home. I don't think I had any migraine that I would vomit at all. I had nausea here and there, but it wasn't like I could feel that I'll be fine if I take something, or it might go away on its own. Um, but like my last migraine, I think it was like a month or two ago, maybe a month and a half. And again, it was only half a day. And it was like I was kind of under the weather. Like I was also congested and everything. So it was combination of both, I guess. But yeah, I still could like get things done in a day. I didn't have to, but like I could, you know. And I wasn't in bed for a whole day. So
And you've been through some pretty stressful times at work too.
yeah, I mean, we have deadlines. We do have a lot of deadlines, you know, making sure people's events turn out right and everything is good. Yeah.
And you're not noticing that crashing phenomenon.
No, not really. Like I already, but also like like when we start working together, like I knew how important sleep is, how important diet is growing up in Europe. I just knew that. Things change when you get busy. You just don't care about much about sleep and what you eat as long as you eat something. And I kind of started to focus on it again. And really, like my whole family is eating pretty good. Like we're not getting sick at all anymore. Like really, like I was just talking to my husband this morning and was like, we're not getting really sick. Like when was the last time like I was sick? When was the last time kids were sick? Like I don't know. I don't remember, which is great, you know. But you know, we try to eat healthy as possible. We make sure like we eat balanced meals, and we did like even before I started working with you, we tried, but um, there were just a few things that they weren't in place. I'll put it that way.
You were not eating horribly by any
No,
stretch. You were
no,
putting
but
a
I
lot
was
of effort
skipping
into
a
your
lot of
eating
meals.
habits.
I was skipping meals, like especially working and being busy at work. I really don't remember. And even now, like, oh God, I didn't eat. Okay, it's 11 o'clock, but I will eat, and I will not wait a whole day to have a meal.
So I mean, like I say, from going from daily head pain, migraines flaring on top of that, now you're having some occasional head pain, occasional migraine flaring. Last one was about a month and a half ago.
Mhm.
Anything else that you've noticed with your, how you're feeling overall?
Maybe things that like, I have to think because these are the things that I really don't think until I actually start. Like I don't notice until I start thinking about it. But like I don't know, like we started this year our beautiful garden with my husband, and like we are, you know, putting hands in the ground, and it's great. Like even after like whole day of work, I would come home and then check on my cucumbers and my tomatoes, and like I don't know, it's just like it's different. Like we can actually do things like without scheduling. We can be more spontaneous. Like before, it was just like we couldn't plan anything until the day off, really, because we'll see we'll see if I'm gonna have migraine or not. You know, we can plan. Like I have so much PTO left because I really don't call out of work, which is good. I never like to call out from work, like of work from work,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like because for other people, like it's so normal. It's like it's so like that's what it is. Like to us, it's like something a little new.
Sounds like you're recovering from the post-traumatic aspect of chronic migraines where, you're constantly monitoring, should I go outside today or not? Am I going to get a migraine if I go out in the garden? It sounds like you're
Yeah.
recovering
I
from
mean,
that.
every like today it's a little cloudy, but you know, most days we have sunny days and like I could not go out for too long, like going even to the beach, like we by the shore. Like I could not go too early. It had to be later in the day or like for too long, so it's not too much heat, you know, things like that.
That's wonderful. You've been to the shore this summer?
I don't think so. Yeah, we went
Oh,
once. We went
okay.
once, but it's just because we enjoying our backyard really.
Uh-huh.
Like I like we just hanging out here. And my daughter started working, so she has a first summer like actually working. So our schedules kind of clash a little bit. Like we were going to go away to visit my friends, this summer. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to, just because of our work schedule. Something we
Well,
can plan for if you want to.
that's great. That's great. And being able to just be outside,
Yeah.
it's that could be very difficult for migraine sufferers. I definitely experienced that. I could not be outside in the sun for very long at
Hmm.
all. So yeah, just being able to garden like that, it's wonderful. So what would what would you say to other women out there that are listening to this that have been, their children have grown up giving them ice packs and women that have missed things with their kids? What would you tell them?
Well, to definitely at least get the phone call with you. I really think, or if it, even if it's not with you, it's somebody that kind of look towards like more natural way of healing, because it's not really just the migraine. It's overall like, when we start working, like we took care of the gut health, we took care of the sleeping patterns and eating habits, and all of this really contribute to your overall health. Migraine is just a side symptom, like it's just your body telling you something is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great. What are you looking forward to for the rest of this year?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. We are, like I said, like we are really babying our garden with my husband, so we're gonna do some pickling, canning. I don't
Okay.
know. My
Yeah.
daughter's starting college this year, so we were going to visit my family, but decided on probably staying home. My daughter's starting college, my son is starting high school, so there will be a lot going on. So hopefully it's gonna go smooth. Not big plans, really.
But a lot
Just
of
the regular
changes.
things, I would
Mm-hmm.
say. Regular family things.
Yeah. Some transitions.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
good. I'm so glad you get to enjoy that now. It sounds like even taking your daughter to college, boy, that could be fraught if you don't know how you're going to feel day to day. So I'm
I mean,
glad
it's
that,
stressful. It's very stressful for me because, like, I went to college, but I went to college in Poland. Not like I don't know. Like, it's all new for me. High school for my son, it's not so bad because it's the second. He's younger, so we already went through this with Hannah. But with the college, it was a lot to trying to figure things out, especially with the financial aids and stuff like this. Oh my gosh, a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm so happy for you, Monica. I'm so happy for
Mhm.
you. You worked hard and you've reaped the rewards of that work.
Yeah. I mean, I can. I don't think I can be grateful enough. Like I don't know. I really feel like I have my life back. There's no words. No, there's no words. I don't even know what to say. Like I'm very, very happy that I came across your podcast, really.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
Well, thanks so much for joining me today and sharing your story. I really appreciate it. I love hearing about your garden. I know you had put that in. You had talked about that the last time we talked, but now it's coming into you're actually collecting the produce and
Hmm.
thinking about canning and so on. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that that's been so fun for you guys this summer.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Thanks again, Monica, for sharing your story, and I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, great. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for sharing your story. Gosh, every time I do this, I forget how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke with my husband this morning. I was like, please remind me. Please remind me. Like how this, like, how was I? Like, it's hard to really remember, like, when I was looking through the questions you sent me. I was like, I don't remember. Like, how many migraines did I have? And then I was like, it was every day. It was almost every day. Um, so yeah,
Just terrible. Terrible suffering.
yeah.
Well, good. Good, good, good. Well, I will let you go. Get your lunch. It
Yeah.
sounds like your daughter's there. She's
She left. Like, we just got a puppy a few months ago, and she was with her because she's watching. She's still training her. So,
uh-huh.
but yeah, they're all inside now.
Good. Good, good, good. Well, thanks again. I really appreciate it. Bye bye. Thanks so
Bye.
much.